This is Life, Liberty, Happiness with Brian Schley and Trent Warner. Streaming live each week on Media Squatch Plus and available on demand in the app or wherever you get your podcasts. Real talk, real freedom.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Life, Liberty, Happiness. I'm your host, Brian Schley. We are live in the David Honaker State Farm Studios, in the studio with Trent Warner.
Man, that sounded professional. Howdy.
Polishing.
Yeah.
Week in Vegas, come back all ready to go.
Professional.
Emma pushing buttons.
Hello.
And a little later on in the show, we will have our American Hero story. We will welcome veteran Gary Witt later on.
Can't wait for that.
About 10 minutes away, yep, from that. Can't wait to get to that. But first, we'll do backwards and forwards. Last weekend, I had my daughter's 14th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. She had like 10.
Fun.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. It was eventful.
Do you like having that many kids around your house that you don't know?
Yeah, I know most of them from volleyball. You know how it is with Riley. I mean, you pretty much know the volleyball friends, right?
One of the best memes I saw was the one that says, the look on your dad's face when he gets the girl's name right. You know, I mean, they're all Emily's, and
yes,
you know what I mean.
That's
it's like, oh, Sarah.
Yeah, there was two of them that had the same name, Rachel Pearl and Rachel something, and yeah, I said Rachel, and both of them turned around, and I was actually trying to say Reagan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So anyway, no, that was
how
fun.
did the Low Country Bowl turn out?
It was good. Yeah, we ordered 4 pounds of crawfish from Louisiana, and it was scheduled to be there Friday, and I got a note from UPS on my notifications that it was going to be delayed till Monday. So, nice. Louisiana Company is the name of the company that ships fresh crawfish. I didn't even have to call. They sent me an email saying that happens sometimes.
They weren't going to make your party.
But don't be surprised that if it doesn't show up. Like sometimes it's automated that if it's delayed, but they know it has to be delivered on this date or else they don't get paid.
Gotcha.
Then shortly after that, I got an email saying it was not going to show up, and they refunded all my money. And then they said if it comes Monday, throw it away. That it's got to be they got to be live when they get there.
Yeah. Would you use? Do you just use shrimp instead?
It never showed up. So even today, so
yeah,
it still hasn't. I guess they ship it back.
Yeah. So shrimp instead.
Yeah, we did. We added shrimp to it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't go with Reagan's option. She was like, just swap it out with lobster tails. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah.
Get some grilling some T-bones too. Yeah. All my friends. It's my 14th birthday, Dad.
14th birthday.
Come on.
Got 10 friends over, and we're going to do lobster tails. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But no, it turned out good. We had a good time. And then on Sunday, we had a family reunion.
Yeah.
It's the Loudermilks. It's not a very common last name, but it's up near Natural Bridge. Beautiful little stretch of creek.
Yeah, but why would you be going? You're a Sly and she's a Richards.
It's her mom's family.
Oh, Dorcas?
Mm-hmm.
She's a Dorcas Loudermilk?
Nope, she's a Fix, but somehow, don't ask. I think that may be her.
Y'all just showed up to some family reunion.
No. Listen, I enjoy it. So it's I think it's called Bent Creek, but it's the size of when I think of a creek, I think of 3 feet wide. Mm-hmm. This was bigger than the Jackson.
Oh, okay.
So every year we go to this, they all take chairs and go sit in the river. Like that's a thing. And they just sit around and that's their family. And then they eat. But to be honest with you, it's fun. Like
what town is it in?
It's right there in Natural Bridge.
Oh, okay. Like Oceanside
or? Closer to Lexington.
Oh, okay.
So literally off of Route 11.
Oh.
Like when you pass the...
Fancy Hill.
When you pass the Speedway, it's probably a half a mile past Lane's Country Store on the left. Yep. And so we had a good time. And Fall, he's going to bring kayaks, and so the kids took the kayaks up the river and back. And
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. There's always Kenny's Chicken. They get that from Lexington.
Oh, yeah. I
Bring that.
went on that trip with you once.
Yeah. Kenny's Chicken's hard to beat.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was our weekend.
Cool.
What'd you do?
Yeah, for us, just hung this weekend, pool day with friends. Did some grilling. Had a lot of fun with the friends. Don't remember the grilling. Oh, wait a minute. Grilling was the next day. So, and then Riley, she's going off to UVA, so we wanted to just hang together. So it was real cool that your daughter wants to hang with you for a day. So we went to the pool and just hung it. Man, we probably talked for 4 hours, just nonstop. It was good catch-up time.
That's
so
awesome.
she's getting ready to go and tell me all about it. So won't be long. Another month goes by and she'll be gone.
Yeah. Speaking of that, happy 24th to Perry.
Yep. It's his birthday today, so that was this day in history, 24 years ago.
Oh, okay.
He was born. My man.
How's Nashville?
How's he doing in Nashville?
Yeah.
Shoot, if he's there, every time I'm talking to him, he's traveling with Sarah somewhere. So
Not-
they're young. They just
Oh,
hit
yeah.
the road. They're near airports, so they're ready to go here and there, and so they're just enjoying life.
Good for him.
It's fun keeping up. But I will see him this weekend. That's my weekend forward.
Oh, good.
So
You're going.
we're going to go celebrate his birthday down at my oldest daughter's house down in Charlotte. So we're going to go see Audrey and Josh, and he's bringing Sarah, and then Riley and I are going to ride down and catch up with them. So we'll spend the weekend together, celebrate his birthday at his sister's house.
You got anything planned, or you just going to cook out at her place?
Nothing planned, so
Nice.
we'll just figure out what to do
Where are you staying?
at Audrey's.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Pretty sure I should check on that.
Might be a thing to do.
But she got a decent house. We'll figure it out. If it's a couch, it's still good with us.
Gotcha.
All right. How about y'all? What are y'all doing this weekend?
I was just corrected. It is the Fix family reunion. The Louder Mix is just there. My wife just corrected me. Sorry.
It's the Fixes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, Dorcas.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Fixes for sponsoring that.
Listen, I the older I get, I was a kid.
Well, how'd you get Louder Milk in there?
Because that's the people who host it
Oh.
are Louder Milks. And so I just assumed we were going to there's so many daggone family reunions with that family.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
Too many branches.
I gotcha.
But I like family reunions. Like when I was young, I hated them.
Hey, do you know why? I just heard this. Do you know why the lady dropped her surname, or took the husband's name? Legally. Why
No.
it was done that way?
No.
Because legally, when it was first created, when she took his name, she gave up the right, not gave up the right, but she no longer had to take on debt. He was now the provider. And so she took his name, and she didn't have to take on debt. He took on debt, whatever they bought. So it was like a giving of the name to be able to do that. It's kind of interesting. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I heard of it.
I mean, I guess because back
didn't do
in
any
previous
extensive research.
societies, the last name was the most important. I mean, that was your standing in society, right?
Yeah.
So that was probably important.
And the argument I heard about that was ladies trying to say that they're not taking on their husband's name they're really only doing that for one generation, because they usually have the last name of their dad.
Sure.
Yeah. Right.
All right. I might slip down to Caesars this weekend. I don't know. I've got really nothing planned. I'm trying.
I want to do that with you, though.
I've been efforting Caesars to sponsor our segment,
Yeah.
but I can't. The lady has not got back with me.
Don't we have staff that does that? Emma.
You would think.
What did I do wrong now?
You haven't done anything wrong. You just haven't done enough. Right.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I'm in communications with the Caesars marketing director.
Okay.
So I'm hoping we can get some sort of sponsorship out of Caesars.
Heck yeah.
What is a Caesars?
Oh, my gosh. Just push
Well, we've
buttons.
got no chance now.
Yeah.
I'll edit that.
It's a dressing that you put on a salad.
It's a salad. It's a
Roman
casino in Danville.
Oh, I just didn't know that was the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caesar's Palace.
I just didn't know that was the name of it.
Did Caesar really stay here? Remember that hangover? All right. Moving on. This day in history.
This day in history.
1945, after delivering the atomic bomb. I did not know this. Did you know this?
I did not know it until you wrote this, and I had not
In
realized
1945, after delivering the atomic bomb in the Pacific, the cruiser USS Indianapolis was torpedoed and sank by the Japanese, killing 880 of the crew, many who were attacked by sharks. It inspired the movie Jaws.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
That's really crazy because when you wrote that, I was like, it sounded familiar, so I wanted to go look at that too. So it was carrying the main components to finish the bomb before it was delivered into Japan.
Right.
Which that was, and I looked it up because I just wanted to say, man, you'd think these dates would be emblazoned in my memory, and it's not. But today, being July 30th, is when this, when the Indianapolis was sunk. Right?
Yeah.
That's on its way out after delivering the components to the bomb. The bomb was dropped August 6th. So
if it put it together.
if it gets sunk on the way in,
there is none
to Hawaii, then there's no bomb to
we're
create.
probably paying high tariffs to Japan these days.
Yeah.
Instead, they are.
Yeah, exactly. Or we'd be speaking Japanese. Yeah, that's just a wild history thing.
Wow.
And mine, real quick, was "In God We Trust" became our national motto. Okay, so on your coin,
yes.
If that's "In God We Trust" became our national motto, what year would you think that would have been done?
That had to have been Eisenhower, and I'm going to say 48.
It's 1956. I would have just thought it was something that as soon as we branded coins that we would have had "In God We Trust" back in like 1880 or 1790 or something like that.
Was it Eisenhower? Do you know?
That was 1956. So, I don't know. You're asking me trivia that I don't know. So I'll look it up.
All right, on to American hero stories.
The American dream is built on freedom, and that freedom comes at a cost. American Heroes Stories, presented by Life, Liberty, Happiness, is a new series honoring the men and women who've sacrificed to protect that dream. We're proud to play a small part in preserving their stories for future generations. Life, Liberty, Happiness, a Media Squatch podcast presents American Heroes Stories.
All right, folks, welcome to the program, U.S. Marine and Vietnam veteran Gary Witt.
Well, folks.
Thank you for taking time out to join us. We'll start off with where were you born and raised?
I was born right here in Lynchburg at the Guggenheimer Hospital, Virginia Baptist, I guess, back in that day.
Okay.
But Lynchburg's been my home my whole life and still is. And grew up here, went to Brookville High School. So,
did you play sports in high school?
I did play some intramural sports, basketball and stuff like that, and ran track. But yeah, I had, general life. I mean, I was real skinny. I probably weighed 130 pounds.
Wow.
But when I got out, ended up going into the Marine Corps. That's when I started putting on weight and muscle.
Mm-hmm. Were you? Was there a motivation to join the armed forces, or was this, the only option?
Well, I was, in high school, I had a girlfriend and ended up getting her pregnant and ended up deciding to get married on my 18th birthday.
Nice.
And we had a son that was born, and now right out of high school, I'm so young, I don't really know what I'm doing. And I was playing in a band, playing music, and we had, in fact, we had a pretty big band in Lynchburg called the Epics. We had two black singers. And back in the day, in the 60s, it was, there was something that wasn't too much heard around town.
Uh-huh.
But we used to play down at the Sportsman Club on 5th Street. So it was interesting and a lot of wild things that went on in my life. And I thought I knew what I was doing, but after being out playing music, and I ended up, we broke up, and it ended up, it's kind of like, because I had a son, it kind of put pressure on me to get involved with the military, because back then, if you were married, you didn't have to worry about getting drafted. But because I had broke up with my wife, and next thing you know, I started worried about getting drafted. And sure enough, I got a draft notice.
Oh.
And so I just, David Harker, who was one of my schoolmates, he had joined the Army and was captured. And another schoolmate that I used to drive to school, and Russell Blatz is one of the schoolmates. He went over there and joined the Army, and next thing you know, he got killed. And so it was kind of like I was looking for. I thought I was going to go over there and look for David Harker, like I was, going to be a hero myself, finding him. But no, I just I volunteered basically to. Well, I actually when I went to get to boot camp, or went up to Roanoke to get my physical.
Yeah.
That's when in walked a Marine recruiter, and he said, "I need two of you guys to volunteer for Marines." Well, one of the guys who was also in the band with me, the black guy, he and I looked at each other and said, "Well, we could go into buddy plan. It's going to sound like a easy way out." So we both raised our hand, and we got had to go for another physical. Well, when I went in for the second physical, I passed, but he didn't. He flunked he had flat feet or something like that, and so he didn't make the physical. So ended up, I had to go to Paris Island by myself.
Wow.
Now, did he end up serving anywhere, or was he kicked out? Do you remember?
He got out completely after he found out he had flat feet. So,
Gotcha.
But anyway, I went on in to Paris Island, and I decided then that I was going to volunteer for whatever. I figured I was going to go get killed. There's so many people getting killed back then. So all the training I went through, I tried to do the best I could, especially rifle. I was a top shooter in my platoon for the rifle. I had, almost a perfect score. But I wanted to get. I really wanted to get into be a rifleman or something where I go out rather than just carry a rifle around. I wanted to go out and be a sniper. I was going to be something special. But I tried to get into jump school, and they said, "Well, you got to be able to fly, and because you got so many cavities in your teeth, you'd probably get a headache or something flying." So they didn't want me to go to jump school. So anyway, I still volunteered for everything I could think of. When I got over there, believe it or not, I carried a guitar with me to Vietnam. I mean, how many people you see show up with a sea bag and a guitar,
They let you get on the plane with a guitar?
Well, yeah. I actually had the guitar, and I didn't really think about it, but when I got in line in Da Nang Airport, that's where I was at. I came in there, and I got in line to be checked in, and I had the guitar there on my seat bag, and this guy come up and he said, "You play that guitar?" And I said, "Well, yeah, a little bit." He said, "Well, what kind of music you play?" I said, "Well, just, hoot and Andy." I played in the band, so I played a little bit of every kind of music. And so he said, "Well, how about you coming up to that?" He showed me a little house up on the hill there, and he said, "Can you come up to that house tonight?" And he said, "We'll play some music for us." And I said, "Okay." So he went up and told the guy who was checking us in. He said, just, for me to fall out. And so I did, and waited till that night about 8 o'clock and showed up over there and playing hootenanny music and stuff, singing stuff with some of the people that was in the area. And it was an officers club. They were buying me beer and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Treat me nice. And then about I don't know, about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, I got to clean it up. The bartender's over there wiping the bar, and he said, well, got to get out of here. And I said, well, where am I going? And he said, I don't know where you're going, but you ain't staying here. So here I was in Vietnam on my first night, and
Lord.
had no clue where I wasn't checked into anything. So I went back down to the airport, which was nothing but a little room about big as this, and it had a bench there. And so I laid my sea bag on top of the bench and a guitar on top of that, and I crawled up under the bench, and that's where I spent my first night in Vietnam.
No kidding.
Holy cow.
And got up the next morning, and I got back in that same line that was in the day before, and they checked me in, and I ended up going to the golf company, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, which were called the Magnificent Bastards.
Yeah.
That's where it was a group of Hell's Angels that had joined the Marines, and they went in as a group, and this was the company that they served in.
Wow.
So when I got to the company, they said, well, what do you want to do? You want to, what job are you? I said, well, I'd like to be on recon or something. He said, well, we got some recon. We're going to be going up he was in North Vietnam anyway, in what they called I Corps. And so they asked me if I wanted to be point man. I said, well, yeah, I can do that. So I like walking the point because I never walked on a trail. Normally, everybody walks on a trail, they end up with a booby trap or something. So I just I would cut a trail from one spot to the other. He'd tell me where he wanted me to go, and I'd pick out that mountain or whatever hill we were going to, and I would cut a new trail over there. And
now you're from Lynchburg.
Yeah.
You go to Paris Island, and now you find yourself. I mean, what's the terrain like for you? I mean, this is jungle work. I mean, you're in the middle of. I mean, how hot is it? Just what?
It's
what kind of
completely different. Yeah, it's all hot weather, and sometimes it'll get monsoon season when it would be so much rain and everything's wet and just going through these rivers and stuff. Yeah, it's a different environment altogether. And well, let me tell you a little story about why I think that I was pretty good with a rifle. Because when I was in high school, I was in a FFA, Future Farmers of America, and they had a contest to see who could sell the most magazines. Now this is high school, and I was one of the ones that sold the most magazines, and I ended up getting my prize was a rifle, and they brought it to me in high school and presented it to me right there. In high school.
Good old
times
days.
are different, yeah.
And I used to take that rifle and I'd go out, and it was a .22 Magnum lever action.
Oh, wow.
And I'd sit out in the field there, and I could have dove, people dove hunt. They take a shotgun. I'd take my rifle and I'd shoot the heads.
Wow.
There you go.
Of doves out there on the wire. But anyway, that was how I was. I got pretty good at what I was doing, but it got over there, and I wasn't afraid of anything. Like I said, I made it through boot camp, and there was some dudes in boot camp that liked to whip up on people, and I stood my ground because the pogo sticks. I was at the point when I was going through that part of boot camp. I beat off the person I was against, and then I beat a second person. They put two people on me, and I beat both of them. So then the drill instructor come around, and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna put another." So he put three people in. He said, "I want you to fight these three." So he took my helmet and turned it around sideways, and I couldn't even see what I was doing. I was just fighting these three guys, and they finally beat me. But yeah, I was trying to be real tough. I was a real tough guy, but I was scared to death when I got over there. I took my guitar and all that, and I left the guitar in the rear area in the supply in the rear, and I went on out there in the bush, and but it was, they'd send you out on things like LPs where you go out at nighttime and go out about a couple hundred yards from the rest of the company and listen for people that might be moving through the jungle. And it'd be about 4 or 5 of us that do that LP watch, and I did that quite a bit. And then they sent us up on a recon mission up into North Vietnam to check out the where the trails where people were coming down from the north, and we were right there on I-Corps, which right off the Ben High River, and we wasn't but 10 miles, I guess, from the Ben High River, and so they sent us in up there one time, and we went into North Vietnam. We came back over the river, and we thought the mission was over for that day. We kind of laid back and just taking it easy, and there's a sandbar there on the side of the river. So I'm sitting there, and everybody's kind of unzipping their flak jackets and laid back, and everything's cool. And but we got radio silence, and this Marine Bronco was flying around over top of us. And in North Vietnam, you think, well, you protect it because you hear this plane. It's got to be a American plane. So anyway, we got kind of easy out there in the sandbar, and this Marine Bronco just came down, and he came down so low that we were saying to giving him a thumbs up, and he saw us and gave us thumbs up back, and right there beside us was a bunch of gooks that were getting ready to hit us, and they thought, well, we could shoot this plane down.
Oh, wow.
So they go cack, cack, cack in the bottom of the plane, and he thought that we were part of the group of shooting at him. So what does he do? He flies around, he comes back in, and this time I'm looking back, I'm shooting at the gooks now. They were shooting at us and pinned us down, and I'm looking back over my shoulder, and I saw this Bronco release these rockets.
Oh, no.
And these rockets are like fingers coming through the air right over top of us. And I said, oh, crap, what in the world? And he had white phosphorus rockets, and actually they landed right on top of us, right in that position.
Wow.
And one of the rockets hit right beside me, and shrapnel went in my right leg, and then the white phosphorus went up in the air and landed on my left leg.
Huh.
And there also was people that were laying right beside me that the white phosphorus landed. One guy had it on his head. Of course, now I was right there on the sandbar, so I took the sand and knocked the fire out. But the guy that had landed on his head, he jumped in the river, and water didn't put it out.
Oh, no.
So he was struggling trying to get that out, and we got to grab him, pull him back up on the sandbar, and shove his head in the sand, and finally got it all put out. And
is this while you're also being shot at still?
Oh yeah, they were shooting. We were pinned down from that, and then not only that, he went around again, and this time he came in with miniguns. He's got these miniguns, just like just a rapid fire miniguns. They came in. I saw bullets actually tear my pants.
Oh, good grief!
Anyway, now there was 4 men, the top 4 officials in the group that was that day. They got wounded. One of them had a rocket land right between his legs, and he had just got a letter in the mail that he had a baby back home, and so we had to call a shop. That one of the radio man actually had his hand blown off. Wow. And so this friend of mine named Billy Steiner, he picked the radio up and got to cussing, and he got the channel that this Marine Bronco was on, and he got on, and he cussed so well that he convinced the guy that he was a American, Marine, and so he actually called in the chopper for us, and anyway, the chopper that came in was it had 3 wheels, and so it wasn't a big chopper. It was just big enough to get the 4 guys on. So they brought chopper and set it down on the river edge of the river bank, and we put those 4 guys that were wounded. And I just talked, believe it or not, I just talked to one of those 4 guys. I talked to him last Saturday night.
No kidding.
He's still alive, and he was telling me the reason I'm telling you this because I was telling this guy that I'm in the military of the Purple Heart. I'm in the that organization with this guy, and this guy that's in this region was in my company. Had Golf 24 on his shirt, and I met him, and we got to talking. and he told me, he said, well, I had another fellow tell me the same story, and come to find out he was one of the guys that was with us in Vietnam. And so he went home and gave him my card, and he called me last Saturday night.
Wow.
And we talked about it, and he was thanking me for saving him, putting him on the chopper, getting him out of there.
Unbelievable.
All these years later.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he's still alive. So that was on January 30th. And then, so I was in good shape. So they sewed me up. I put about 7 stitches in my right leg and gave me a whole backpack full of bandages for my left leg where the white phosphorus would burn a hole. And so they sent me right on back out to the bush.
Oh, my goodness.
It's because they needed the people in the bush. So I'm out there, and things progressed. It's more and more things were going through each week. And
how long had you been there when that occurrence at the river happened?
It was after, because I went through. I remember Christmas that year, 68. I remember going on a search and kill patrol, and we found these little leaflets that they'd thrown out all over the jungle. That was, that day. That was a very disheartening day because it was Christmas Day, and we go out on this patrol, and we're picking up these little leaflets that said "Yankee go home" and this, that, and the other. I've got one of them in my Bible now that I kind of keep as a remembrance of what all happened. But yeah, it was right. I'd been there probably in about August or September. I got there in Vietnam. So this was after Christmas, and this January 30th was after we went on that recon patrol. So here I am, and this is one of those when the socked in weather comes in. We were just you couldn't get resupplied because there was so much cloudy weather. You couldn't get anything in to fly in or drive. So we had set in on this hill, and I guess it had also been on another mission. They sent us into to this hill. They call it Fox Ridge Hill, and what happened was Fox Company was on top of this hill, and they sent golf company, my company, and hotel company to go in and relieve them and get their bodies off the hill because they got wiped out. So we go in late one evening, and I go out there and pick up bodies, and I had to go up on this trail and come back with bodies, and we put, I don't know, several bodies in body bags, and just waiting for them to get everything organized so that we could probably take the hill. So anyway, that night they got us to back away from the hill, and they came in and strafed the hill with everything. And, the big bombers come in, and they would drop just napalm and everything you could think at it on the hill, and it was pretty devastating. I mean, you think you could stand back and you could feel the heat.
Wow.
It was so close. But anyway, the next morning they were going to send us out to go up and take the hill. So they called me into the headquarters, which is just to set up a temporary tent, and they said, "Look, you and your fire team are going to be the first ones going up the hill tomorrow. So we want you to go back and write a letter home."
Oh, wow.
So, we kind of, by then, I mean, I'm kind of getting, used to seeing things happen and people getting killed. And I pulled enough bodies off that hill to put in body bags and all. It just makes you feel that you've been through something already. It's traumatic, And so I figured, well, I'm probably going to be one of the next ones. Anyway, I went back to told my fire team that they need to write a letter home, and they were all everybody was writing a letter, and I was trying to write letters, and I started writing a letter and said, if you read this letter, then I'll probably be in heaven.
Mm.
Then I got to thinking about that. I said, well, what have I done to go to heaven?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I didn't really deserve that, that's for sure. So I figured, well, I had this little Bible in my backpack. And so I got that out and got to reading it and read about the plan of salvation and how to get saved. And I shared it with my guys. And so I made a commitment to the Lord that night, I wanted to live for him. So next morning, we're getting ready to go up this hill, and I was already also told that I had to walk on the trail, which is against my religion altogether.
Yeah.
I didn't even think. I'm thinking, well, I've got to walk on this trail. They wanted my fire team to be on each side of me, like we were three ranks going up this hill. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm laying there just waiting for everybody to get, in lined up and everything. And I said a little prayer. I said, Lord, you get me up this hill, and I'll live my life for you. So anyway, I didn't think a lot about it, but I went on, got on the trail. I'm going up there, and sure enough, I hadn't gone a couple hundred yards, and there I saw a head sticking out and a rifle sticking out of a bunker. And I passed the word back that I'd spotted the enemy and I wanted permission to fire. Well, the word came back up to me and said, don't fire till they fire first.
Oh, goodness.
So what am I to do? I can't fire, so the only thing I can do is pray. I mean, I said, well, this is probably going to be it. So I'm praying, and I stood up, and I'm watching this guy in the bunker, and I'm going up there, and he's not even manning his rifle or anything. He's scared than I am.
Mm.
He's frightened. And then when I got up there to him, I pulled him out, and I sent him on back down the line. And I kept on going, and we actually captured three gooks that day off the hill. And I don't know where the others came from, but I know that they took them and interrogated them. But I got to the top of the hill. I was one of the first people up there, and I dropped down in this bunker. Just kind of looking around to see if anything's in it, anything that might blow up or something. But I sat down in a bunker, and I said, "Thank you, Lord, for getting me up this hill." And I heard a little voice say, "Well, I've done my part." Mm-hmm. And so, anyway, it turns out that there's a hospital and all kinds of ammunition. You wouldn't believe the stuff that was up on that hill. It was unbelievable. And the people that they interrogated, they found out that they had left a 50-man squad behind to slow us down. They knew we was going to come over the hill, so we took the hill, and we were up there for the next couple of weeks. But like I said, it was that time when everything was socked in. You couldn't get resupplied, so we went on, and finally we left that hill, and we went over to another hill, and then I had to go through. I mean, we're going through rivers and the leeches and stuff in the rivers. It was unbelievable. They was attached to you, and
so is there? Because I'm not familiar with Vietnam, but is there wildlife? Is there like?
Oh, yeah, they actually, when I went through a river, I'm looking at fish that have never seen man before. I mean, that's how wild the areas are.
Wow.
And the fish would come up and be looking at you like, hey, this might be something good to eat, But there was wildlife. We ran into you hear sometimes a deer or something like that would be in the woods. Okay. In fact, I didn't kill any, but I heard some guys talk about that they killed a deer or snakes and things. I mean, big bulk of stricters.
That's what I'm just saying right there. I'd pass.
Yeah, I did see one of those. One of the guys run up on and killed it, and we actually had a little meat off that. But anytime you got into a battle, it was like you had a great time because usually the goose would carry a rice sock. So when we had sea rations, they had this beef gravy and stuff in there. we get that rice out and cook it up, and it's like having a delicacy, you know. That was a good meal we had whenever we had a battle. But anyway, we were socked in these places, and everything kind of was going very slow. You didn't know what was going to happen next, but a lot of us were, like you said, we were scared, and we finally had to resort to digging into fire pits where on these hills that the Marines had been before. Somebody had been there, Army, who had been on the hill. We got to digging into fire pits and finding these little canisters of pimento cheese. Nobody liked pimento cheese, so they'd always throw them away. That's what we was living on, was eating these pimento cheese. And,
so when you're taking these hills, or at least, is this a day process? Is this a week process, or half a day?
It sometimes would be just a day or so, and then you're there and you'd go on to, they'd have another mission for you to go on. It was like they got us.
Are you staying in, like sleeping in the jungle?
Oh yeah, you stay. The only thing you had was your, like a poncho, or maybe a poncho blanket, something like that. You wrap up in to keep you, if it's cool, but most time you didn't have anything at all except going on with sea rats. You had sea rats and things like that. But
was it hard to sleep? I mean, were you able to get
I didn't have sleep apnea back then. So
you were able to catch some Z's when you're doing these trips?
I'm sure, yeah. We doze off sometimes. And
what are you, 19, 20 years old? How old are you when this is going on?
I turned 20 in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when we being socked in, we went without any resupply for so long. We were getting pretty desperate. So finally, they decided to go have a day where it was going to be restocked. It was going to bring in the C-130, and you could fly over, and the cloud, you still couldn't see anything but the clouds right above you. So we heard this plane, and it came over, and it crashed, and it was a big crash down in the jungle, probably about 2 or 3 miles from us. And they made a correction from that and came back over, and they dropped the next one almost right in the middle of our perimeter. So we had plenty of food. Then they dropped another one just outside of our perimeter. So we got three pallets dropped to us, and there was ammo in those pallets too. So after we got plenty to eat, they said, well, we need to send a group to go pick up that pallet that crashed in the jungle. We knew approximately where it was, but we didn't know where it was. So they sent 50 of us, about 200, 250 in a company. So they sent 50 of us to go find that pallet. So we took a group, and the machine gunners was with us, and we went down the ridge. Most of it was downhill. We got down there, and probably 2 or 3 hours we were on the pallet, but the pallet was stripped. And all we could do was just follow the trash through the jungle. And they would open up the sea rats, and they were getting this stuff out, and they were throwing the trash, and we just kind of followed that. And we had a whole big trail of, that we could keep up with. Finally, we caught up with them, and we killed 7 that evening.
Wow.
And so where we had got to, it was kind of like in this ravine. It was real low down. And so they said, well, we're going to leave 5 of you guys down here to set up an ambush over the bodies. And 45 of the guys went back up about halfway up the hill towards the rest of the company. So they are, 45 up there, and those 5 down there. So I was leading the group that was in the ambush.
You keep getting put on the point, aren't you?
I volunteered, so I can't really. You couldn't complain because I didn't care at that time. I was just.
Now, are you feeling invincible? Or are you feeling that if it's your time, it's your time? And
well, like I said, I had prayed this prayer, and I did feel a lot better off knowing that I had the Lord on my side. Or if I did die, I didn't have to worry about it.
Wow.
But we set up over the ambush that night, and then it was so dark. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It's how it was still socked in, and the machine gunner was on one side of me, and the radio man was on the other. And we had to click the radio every hour to let them know we were live.
Oh my goodness.
The machine gunner, we were sitting there, and all of a sudden you hear something like somebody moving or out in front of where the bodies are. And he wanted permission to fire. And I said, no, we're not going to fire till we can't see anything, so no use firing. Because if you do fire, you're going to give it up your position.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'd probably be dead then. So I just kept on clicking the radio, and we passed the radio between us and make sure somebody stayed awake. So about dawn, we decided, let's try to get back up to the rest of the 45 guys, because you couldn't really tell anything, nothing to shoot at. So we started up the trail and caught up with the guys, and they were probably a couple hundred yards up the trail. Now we sat down and had breakfast, I guess you say, some of the sea rats, and so we was telling them about we're hearing some noise, but we didn't shoot. They said, "Well, you guys should have shot. We could have give you some luminaries, some flares with aluminum." So anyway, we said, well, we didn't do it. So they said, well, y'all going back down the hill first. So I had a guy that I had been breaking in on point. He had been there a couple of weeks. So I asked him, I said, you feel like walking point? Because the point man is the only one that could have a round in his chamber. Because what happened was if everybody had a round in the chamber, somebody falls down, they discharge a weapon, they could kill somebody or they shoot them in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened more than once.
No
and
kidding.
sometimes it wasn't mistakes. I think somebody just didn't like somebody, so they would kind of fall down. And
Yeah.
anyway, we this guy had volunteered to be point, so I figured he was brave as I was. So he's walking in front of me, and he comes around a bend. Now, keep in mind, I had like chevrons on, corporal chevrons, that, and one of the little pins that goes through the cover was missing off the back of one side of it. So I only had a pin on one side with my chevrons. Anyway, he walked around the same trail we just came up, and there was 3 gooks sitting in the trail setting up a rocket to. They figured we'd be coming back down the trail, so they're setting up this rocket, and so when he saw him, it scared him so bad that he just, because he had a round in the chamber, he just pulled the trigger, started shooting up in the air. Well, he turned around and ran right straight into me, and when he did, he hit those chevrons and knocked me down, and I sat up and there's blood running down my face, and what in the world happened? I didn't even know why he ran or why he shot or what anything. All I know is I'm laying on the ground. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and all of a sudden we're back engaged in fire again. We're back doing our fire team maneuvers and moving up, and he had it just scared him so bad when he saw those 3 set up the rockets. He scared him. So we kept on going and ended up getting back down the hill almost where the bodies were, and and by then they had got the bodies up, and it was a whole battalion down. We didn't know it.
Oh my gosh.
And we were working our way right into the middle of this battalion, and all of a sudden somebody passed the word, cease fire, because we're running out of ammo, because we've been fighting the night before and we're getting low on ammo. So they asked us to, don't shoot unless you actually see somebody or something in the jungle. A lot of people just shoot at movement, So we're laying on the ground, and I'm looking out, and I know that most of the company is to my right. I'm the only one on the left, and I'm looking there, and I saw this guy get up, and he's probably 40, 50 yards from me, and he stood up. and he's looking down through the jungle the other way. Nobody, like I said, nobody that I knew was over there. So he's looking that way, but I've got my rifle trained on him in prone position, and I watched him, and he had 2 Chacoms, which wouldn't handle grenades, and he had them in his hands like this with between his fingers, and they are activated by pulling a string. And I watched him. He pulls the string, and I know that there's a certain length of time they're gonna go off. And instead, all of a sudden, he turns and looks right straight at me, and he hauls off, throws these 2 grenades. They're coming right at me, and all I know is I pulled the trigger, and I know he went down, but I balled up in a ball right there where the grenades were, and they went off, but I don't even think I got hit at all. Just maybe some shrapnel went through my ear or something, but it was not bad. So I jumped up from that point and went over and jumped over behind this tree that had a real long root coming down. I jumped over there, and there was this same guy that was supposed to be walking point to person. He was hiding back out behind the tree.
Oh, no.
And he's scared. He's just sitting there just shaking. He's scared to death. And I'm trying to act brave to him. Say, look, Marine, you got to get back in the fight. We got to keep, we're up against the enemy, so we got to. I said, now you give me a cover. I'm going to go to that spot right out there, which maybe 15, 20 yards from where I was. I said, now you give me cover, and then I'm going to be out there. Then you better come up. So he said, okay. So he's giving me cover. I go crawling out there. And like I said, I hit the ground, and I had just been there just seconds, and all of a sudden I heard thump, thump. These grenades are falling all around me. And sure enough, he comes up. But when he did, he landed on a grenade.
Oh, my God.
And it had his flak jacket unzipped.
Ugh.
And the grenade hit right on one side of his flak jacket. Well, the flak jacket was pushed in, but he kind of blew him up in the air, and when it went off, and anyway, I felt his pulse. He was still alive, and so the flak jacket kind of kept him from getting all the damage, but it did go in and hit his lung on one side, and so there I am. I got my backpack and I got my rifle and all this stuff. So I laid everything down and I picked him up, put him on my shoulders, and carried him back to the corpsman. And I had to go find the corpsman because he's back in the, And so I finally got up to him, and the corpsman says, "All right, where's your backpack?" I said, well, I left it up there where I picked him up. He said, "Well, I need your backpack." He said, "We got everybody's wounded. I need some bandages." I said, "Well, okay, I'll go back and get my bandage." So I got back up and dropped him off and went on back up, and
Dang it.
and when I got back up front, the line had pulled back about 15, 20 yards from where my backpack was. It was still laying out there.
Mm.
So I go over to the machine gunner, and I said, "Can you give me some cover? I got to go there and get my backpack." He's, "Sure, I got you." So anyway, I go crawling down there, and I reached out and got my hand on my backpack, and when I did, I turned just to come back up a hill, and an RPG round landed right where I was.
Mm.
And a piece of shrapnel from that RPG round, about 2.5, 3 inches, went all the way to my hip, all the way to my bone in the back. And so it blew a hole back here in my rear area. So I go back up to the machine gunner, and we're laying there in the middle of the battle trying to figure out, he was another Marine there too, and we were trying to figure out how can you put a bandage on your butt. And we were laughing. It wasn't funny, but it was funny.
Sure.
At that time. So we tried to do that, and then anyway, we had to get the Marine that fell on the grenade, or the grenade blew in front. We put him on a cable, and they took him on up over top of the jungle. He was the cable down through the jungle, and he was going up. He got shot in the same wound going up the cable.
Oh,
and I saw him on a hospital ship later on, and he said, "I can't believe you guys got out of there."
wow.
He said, you were just completely surrounded. It looked like ants all around you.
Oh.
And anyway, I had to, walk because they couldn't safely get a chopper in there where we was at. So they brought another chopper up on the hill, and the rest of our company was coming to us, and so we just kind of retreated. Marines never retreat, but we were backpedaling to get up the hill, but we had to go a click from where I was wounded up to where the chopper was, and I was using my rifle like a cane, walking, and got up there, and as I was going up the hill, the squads in front of me they'd put claymore mines on trees, and they'd hand me the activator, the little thing it cuts, makes it go off. They would hand me that and go on, head on up the hill. Well, I'm sitting there waiting. I see heads popping up, and I would hit the to click it up to make it go off. And some of them didn't go off because they'd take the C4 out of the claymores and use it to cook the chow.
Uh-huh.
And so it was kind of like you just, if it didn't go off, you got to run real fast.
Oh, wow.
But I was just scrambling to get up the hill, and finally got up there. And when I did, they put me in a basket and pulled me up into the chopper. Right after that, a rocket hit right in one of the foxholes in front of where my guys, especially the machine gunner, he was in that foxhole, and it killed 4 guys in that.
Oh.
Right after I got on the chopper. I mean, I was fortunate to get out of there, but.
And I mean, these stories are just unbelievable. Your bravery is just incredible, and I know, reading the bio, you're a 2-time recipient of the Purple Heart. Are those the stories that you've told there? And
that was March the 9th. That was the first one was January the 30th, and then March the 9th was the next one. And
so both of those stories, the one at the river and the one in the middle of the jungle there, down in that valley, those are the efforts that you made that got you the Purple Hearts.
Yeah.
Man, those 2 stories are just incredible.
Chilling.
Steve Bozeman's talked about this, and I've seen some other guys talk about. So the Marine Corps is really set up where you are the baddest dudes on the planet. I mean, the point men and everything the Marine Corps does is support of those guys that are in the field or that are in the jungle, and you're the point man. I mean, what an honor it is to talk to you.
Well, it was an honor just to be here, period, because I mean, I'm blessed to be back, to tell you the truth. I mean, to go through all that and to get up in front of that, bunker with the machine gun sticking out and capture the guy. I don't know why he didn't shoot. I mean, I know that there's a lot of other brave people out there that didn't make it back, and I feel like I've been given the opportunity to live for them, and that's one of the reasons I've become a veteran advocate, to try to help any way I can, help veterans that, and I've run into all kinds of different situations, and found out to help people, because when you get out of, like I got out the Marine Corps, I didn't tell you the whole story. My son was actually, I was given custody of him before I left going to Vietnam. Now, when I went away to boot camp, I didn't have custody. But when I come back, some things worked out through the lawyers and everything, and I ended up getting custody of him. I had a reason to come back now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The first reason I was volunteer for everything because I didn't think I had a reason to come back, but now, so, and I had met a lady before I went over to Vietnam, and we became. She used to write to me all the time, and I swore up and down I would never get married again. Well, as of last Friday, we've been married 55 years.
Wow.
So
that's
I'm sorry, I had to jump in and thank you for your service with those stories. When you got lifted out of the jungle, and are you then going to a Navy ship or a hospital, and then they work on you, and then
hospital ship,
and then do you have light duty after that, or is what
well,
happens?
I spent almost a month on the hospital ship Sanctuary, and then when I came back to my rear area, the top sergeant there, he says, I need somebody to be supply sergeant, and I need somebody to be NCOIC of troops in the rear, non-commissioned officer in charge of troops in the rear. And then the other one, I want you to be a barber. So anybody comes out of the bush and needs to go on R&R, you got to trim their hair. Plus, you got to trim my hair. I had to cut his, and all you had to do is just take everything off the razor and just cut it, But anyway, I agreed to do that, and I stayed. I thought I was going to be able to get back there and play with my guitar, but my guitar was gone, but somebody else had left another one there. So it worked.
So you never did find your guitar you took with you?
No, somebody took that one. I guess it was a little better than this one, but anyway. But when I did stay in the rear, I knew what the guys needed in the bush.
Yeah.
And so I would go trade camo and stuff like that. I trade some of the stuff for the things that they needed, and I made trips out to the bush and got to see the guys, and it was good, get with them.
You're listening to American Hero Stories on Life, Liberty, Happiness. We're talking with Vietnam veteran Gary Witt. Gary, tell us a little bit about your stuff that you're doing now with veterans.
Well, like I said, I have a group that meets every Thursday for PTSD. And, we've been meeting, I guess, for 15, 20 years, because it's a lot of guys that get out of service. They don't really realize. You think you're just going to go back into society, but that doesn't happen. But if you've faced or been on the battlefield like I had, and I realize what they've gone through, and some of the veterans today are being deployed more than once. Go out and they come back 2 or 3 months or 6 months later, and that's why you see so much veteran suicide. Because it's discouraging to people to be deployed and see all this and then come back. And but we have a group. I've been in the military order, the Purple Heart, in Lynchburg. We had a chapter that we started. I was commander in Lynchburg for several years, and then we got. I went to Lynchburg to talk to them about becoming a Purple Heart city. And they said, well, we're going to challenge you to make it a Purple Heart region, to get a community. It's community, like the Lynchburg region with all the surrounding counties. Mm-hmm. So get all of them to be part of this Purple Heart community. And so we did that. And so I went around to all the counties and had them, they do a declaration and actually Virginia itself is a Purple Heart state.
Yeah.
And so by being part of this, what they call the Purple Heart Trail, we was able to get that to happen with Lynchburg and all the surrounding counties. And so sometimes you'll see a Purple Heart community sign. Mm-hmm. I think it's several here in Bedford. Over here at the grave sites where a lot of the Bedford boys, mm-hmm. We've put up a bench over there, and it's a lot of things that we've done to enhance the community and work with the community, make things better for veterans. And Lynchburg Area Veterans Council, I'm a board member of that, and we've got so many things going on, all different organizations that participate in that, and I'm glad even today I was supposed to go out on a group. My wife didn't want me to go because I've had a heart attack and stroke and all this stuff. So she's saying, you don't need to go out in that heat, because they were doing a ramp bill for the Purple Heart Homes. Is another Central Virginia chapters, and they were doing a ramp bill today, and I wasn't able to go help them. But this is something that any veteran that needs some assistance like that, all you got to do is go to purplehearthomes.org and sign up for it. You can put in a request, and we'll build a ramp for you to get into your house.
Mm-hmm.
Some veterans can't get up and down the steps like you used to.
Right.
And you've heard of the Desmond Doss house we got over in Lynchburg, so we kind of taking care of that and keep veterans in that. So we're trying to cut down on the veterans' homelessness. Mm-hmm. And it's good to be able to even this meeting I have every week, I'm meeting somebody all the time. It's always people that want to know more about how they can get help, and I run into people, and I can tell pretty quickly after, very shortly after talking with them, if they've got PTSD, and I recommend them to go get a hold to the Roanoke Veterans group up in Roanoke. It's a vet center, and our fellow by the name of John Whitlock, he been over 30 years here in Lynchburg. He drive up from Roanoke every week and run this group, and that's what got me started in the groups. And he retired now, but the group still goes. And if anybody is interested in getting involved in that, they could do that. But it's going through the Roanoke Vet Center and sign up, and you have to have your DD 214 and show that your service. But it's all kinds of things out there that can help veterans, and I kind of felt like I was slighted when I got out of service, because when I got out finally, they gave me 30% disability. Mm. And I'm saying, well, okay, 30%, it's $100 a month. So I thought I was doing real good. Well, this fellow that I worked with had been in the Air Force, and he'd never been in combat. Mm. But some reason he had a wart come up in his hand, and he claimed a shell shock through the VA. You never hear of that today, but that was back when World War II, people talked about shell shock. But he had a wart come up in his hand, and he went and applied for disability for that wart and got 30% disability.
No kidding.
And I'm working side by side the guy, this isn't right. So he went back and appealed it, and they gave him 70%. And I'm saying, well, how did he do this? So then I went to the VA, it's out on Leesville Road now, and I said, something is not right. Why, I only got 30%. So they reviewed my case and gave me 50% right away, and that was about 20 years ago, I guess. Mm. And so he went back again, and by then I think he was getting some help with some assistance, somebody that knew what they were doing, and he gave him some pills or something to make him kind of shake a little bit, and he went back and he got 100%.
Gosh.
And I felt like that's not right for people to be doing stuff like that, and so there's a lot of people that back then that were getting screwed when they got out the VA, mm-hmm. And so I feel like you need to help any veteran that you can to get what they deserve, Yeah.
Yes.
And so any way that we can, through the PTSD or whatever, there's all kinds of ways that you can find things that will help the veterans get what they deserve. But I've just been involved as a veteran advocate for the last 15, 20 years anyway. And I joined the Vietnam Veterans of America after Steve and some of the guys, David Stokes and all, they brought the moving wall to Lynchburg back, 20 years ago. So that's when I started getting involved, when I saw that moving wall. And I ended up going to the wall in D.C. And when I went to the wall and I saw the names on the wall of some of my buddies, it touched my heart, and it made me realize that I'm here for a reason. We all given a second chance for some reason. So I'm trying to find out exactly what I can do to help these people.
Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today. It was certainly an honor to interview you and hear these stories. Thank you so much for your service and everything that you do for the veterans as well.
Do you want to ask the...
Yeah, you can't get out
question?
without the hardest question. We got the hardest question we got to ask you. If you could pick anybody in history, dead or alive, any time in history, who would you pick and who would you hang out with for 24 hours, and where would you hang out?
Well, I was going to say George Washington, because he's the originator of the Purple Heart Medal. Oh. But I mean, that's probably a good answer because
Yeah.
we're actually going up on August the 8th and 9th. We're going to Mount Vernon, his home.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a celebration of National Purple Heart Day, which is August the 7th.
Oh, wow.
And so that'd be a good one to
Nice. Yeah.
ask, what all happened, because he's the one that came up with a badge of merit, they called it.
Wow.
So,
Well, thank you again. Appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
okay.
At Boone Tractor, we're more than just a dealership. We are your neighbors, serving Virginia and West Virginia. We offer top quality equipment and personalized service to support your farming and construction needs. With locations in Bedford, Danville, Salem, Withville, and Lewisburg, we're always nearby, ready to lend a hand. Trust Boone Tractor, where community comes first, and your success is built on quality and integrity since 1984.
Need insurance in Bedford? I'm David Honecker, your local State Farm agent. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we've got you covered with personalized service and great rates. Let us help you protect what matters most with the reliability and trust of State Farm. Call us today at 540-586-8194 or visit our office that is conveniently located at 1232 East Lynchburg Salem Turnpike in Bedford, right beside the Walmart. We are your go-to State Farm agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call us today.
All right. On to drama. It's hard
Yeah.
to finish an interview like that and then go straight into drama.
I know, man. The
You're just
little
like,
trivial stuff that we laugh about and joke about. And,
Yeah.
I mean,
Holy crap. Like, there's parts of that make you just.
that story. I mean, I think about, like when you're just doing a chore and somebody didn't put whatever you needed in, let's say you ordered something or whatever, and you're like, oh, God, I got to go back to Home Depot.
Yes,
and
that's
get
what I'm
that."
saying.
Yeah. So you got to go back to Home Depot. This guy had to go back and get his
Backpack.
backpack. Like, I have
With the
nothing-
enemy shooting and
Yeah.
throwing grenades and.
I have nothing to complain about, ever. It's hot outside.
What did you think, Emma?
What's wrong with that one?
She was eating.
I'm eating a snack.
Oh, that's rude.
It's snack time.
She was over there. We're going to start getting popcorn for these. Man, I mean,
That story,
She's
the
chilling.
stories were just crazy. I mean, it was like I was watching a movie, listening to it.
People really need to go back and watch the video on YouTube later
there's.
and watch
Listen,
your reactions.
if people haven't learned by now, they will, that we are not professionals when we're interviewing. The man literally is telling us a story where he starts with, he got a girl pregnant.
Yeah.
And before I say anything, I said, nice.
I know. Dude, I almost laughed
you.
because
I couldn't look up at you.
I know, because I was like, dude, you literally just said nice. Like, I know you're listening to him and everything, but I mean,
I don't know why.
That's
Yeah.
why people
Came
need
out.
to go back and watch it on YouTube.
Dude, I look at my phone because I
knew what
can't-
you meant. I mean, you were just following along, but you were.
I could not look up at him because I knew he was.
I just
laughing.
went,
I look at my phone and my wife had texted nice, really?
yeah.
And
that was
I'm sitting
unbelievable.
here going, oh my God, I did say nice.
Yeah.
I gotta go pregnant. Nice.
Nice. Good work.
And people probably listen to this going, what is wrong with him?
These idiots.
What a story though. The lady that wrote to him while he's in Vietnam. He's been
incredible.
with her for 55 years.
These are,
how
like, I don't,
awesome is that?
I've oftentimes I wonder, Trent and I remember this, it's engraved in my memory when we stormed, not Baghdad, Kuwait, when that happened. What was it called? Desert Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the images of them giving up. Before we even fire, they were throwing their weapons down and walking across the desert.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the Iraqi National Army was supposed to be the baddest dudes.
Yeah.
Like we were gonna, and they just quit.
They just quit, Emma. And when I say quit, I mean they quit. They didn't even shoot. They just. And I think about what this dude went through.
Yeah.
This is why we literally live in the greatest country ever invented.
Yeah.
And we take it for granted because we have badasses like that.
Man, so if you watch the movie We Were Soldiers, it was when the Army first stepped foot in Mel Gibson's the first boot on the ground, essentially. But the story is the French had been there 10 years before, and they couldn't do anything. So the French National Army couldn't get it done.
Of course.
So we go in there, but really the thing is they've been fighting their entire lives, the North and South Vietnam. They were just used to fighting. This
Right.
was no big deal to them. We're just the next people they're going to kill.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So speaking
back
of
to drama.
yeah, I was just flipping through Netflix and I saw the Epstein files.
Yeah, I had seen that some time ago.
Well, I saw the
It's in the top 10 again.
girl Lynn Maxwell. I had seen that.
Yeah,
That was a
so-
different.
Yeah,
but
no.
I had never really seen this one.
Yeah.
What a creep!
Yeah.
Just a creep.
How he got away with the
Yeah.
initial arrest was beyond me.
That's what I said to Ashley when I was watching it. I just looked at her because she works in the courts, and I went, how does that?
How does that guy get away?
Yeah, how does he? I mean, why is there an 8-month investigation?
Yeah.
You knew it from day one.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it was a sad story, as I recall.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm really looking and searching for something. Is there anything that is like going to be released coming soon that?
Yes, you'll like it. It's the behind the scenes like they do for Drive to Survive in NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing for 2024 season of SEC.
Oh,
So
yes.
I saw it coming up. I'm sure they're doing it before the SEC start is.
Sweet.
But on Netflix, they're doing it behind the scenes of the SEC.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to that. Mine, I just did it. I knew I wasn't going to like it because I'm not an Adam Sandler fan. I know everybody thinks he is funny, but I just never have been. And I think there was one movie where he was a dad that was kind of cool, but the Happy Gilmore was okay. The Fight with Bob Barker is funny. I kind of got that. But
Did you watch his newer movie? It's a basketball movie. It's called Hustle.
there's no way I'm watching that.
Why?
Was it good?
Mm-hmm.
Emma,
It's really good.
if I
It's
watch
about-
it,
Well, you don't like anything, so
that's not true.
it's about this. He goes overseas
100% accurate.
to get a guy that I forget where he's playing. Like he's just like a street player, and he brings him over and tries to get him drafted into the NBA.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check it out to see if I finally like one.
It says a lot. You'll
But
like.
man, it is. I mean, you know, when you're going into it, it's going to be shtick humor type
Yeah.
thing. But it was just so over the top. I couldn't enjoy it. I don't want to make it that other people can't enjoy it because 42 million people watched it this weekend.
Wow.
It's the biggest Netflix day opening weekend ever.
Oh wow.
Oh, there's a lot of stars in this too.
By the way,
Anthony Edwards is in it.
you know how
Luka Doncic, isn't it?
I don't know if you've.
Queen Latifah.
Oh, have you seen Luca's new body?
Yes.
No,
buff.
is he in shape?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't even recognize.
he's
him.
not a dad anymore.
Wow.
Didn't even recognize him, honestly. So, I mean, I could give him a little props if he actually does play defense too.
All right, but if you're in if you're Dallas, you tried and he didn't.
I still don't think that's a bad move.
I don't either. I think they both
mean-
may end up.
Both of them never made it out of the first round last
Right.
year, so who cares? But where was I going?
That's it. On to sports. No, go ahead. You've got Tucker interview.
Oh, I looked up. We had talked about Superman, whether that was a flop or not.
Yes.
And I got a lot of comments for my original discussion item about that. And I think the reason why, yes, you can still call it a flop. It made $500 million at the box office, which is supposed to be a blockbuster if it gets over $500 million.
What it cost.
But so did F1.
Ah.
F1, both of them have made over $500 million for summertime movies, which is pretty cool. However, F1 only cost $250 million to make. They need to make $700 million to break even. Doesn't that seem harder to believe that?
It's crazy.
I mean, Superman, I would think is all CGI. Can't imagine it costs that much. They don't really knock those buildings down.
People like Woody, they got to get paid.
I guess so. And then the other thing I saw, man, if you can, and I know I tout this, and not a lot of people will do it, but those Tucker interviews are so good, and he has Charlie Kirk on there. Mm-hmm. It's 2 hours of just riveting discussion back and forth about the country and Trump.
Yeah.
And I bet you Tucker says it 3 times. Is anybody listening to you? And Charlie says, actually, Trump does listen to me. Like, he's engaged, and he knows what I'm talking about the young people.
Yeah.
And Congress doesn't get it.
No.
And it was really a fascinating interview.
I watch a lot of Charlie's stuff when he's on campuses.
Yes.
And I don't think people understand how effective he is.
Yeah, for a guy that didn't go to college himself to go right in the heart of people that think they're smarter than everybody else, and he kills them.
No, and what's so great about it is they try.
Yeah. They
Like
know he's coming.
Yeah, and they try to bring academic stuff up.
Yeah.
Like there's no way, and dude knows it.
I know. Every time there's a question, I'm going, oh, they got him.
Right.
And his answer is like, oh, he got him back.
Like I think to myself, like literally, I saw a TikTok where the guy was quoting something out of a book, right? And he says that's not correct on page 68, and I'm like, Charlie, there's no way you read that book.
Wow.
Like, how could you? Like, but he has. Like, he knows it.
Talking to Tucker, he rattles off a couple quotes out of the Bible, just runs with it. The guy is pretty on the verge of genius, I think.
Yes.
Ben Shapiro does that too, by the way, really
Yes.
effectively.
I agree.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to sports.
It's time for sports.
We're going to have at it out today.
Yep, sayonara.
I don't know what we'll do. Let's just get through it.
Let's go. Let's roll.
Indy,
Hey, I can sacrifice.
the Brickyard.
After listening to this guy,
Yeah, the Brickyard 400.
yeah.
It was a good race.
Dude, at the end of that, you know what my overwhelming thought was?
What?
Never go back to the road course.
Right.
That
I mean,
race,
it's
I mean,
stupid.
even if it's only half full, who cares?
So-
It was a good race.
We were leaving the reunion, so I turned it on to NASCAR channel on XM radio,
Fixes reunion.
so I could hear the ending because it had just come out of caution to be the green white checkered, right? And dude, God, radio is so much better.
Oh, I haven't listened to an MRN
Oh,
or PRN, whatever they call
and
it.
they are, Bubba Powers down low, and it
Yeah.
just you can feel it, right? And my wife, so they have a wreck, and it's going to be another green white checkered.
Yeah.
And my wife says, "Why do they scream when they're going?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm over here.
Yeah.
I could feel just how powerful that was." And of course, Bubba Wallace wins it,
Yeah.
and he beats the
Legitimately.
sports. Yeah, he beats the sport's best.
Driver
Right.
at Indy.
Right.
Kyle Larson, yeah.
And so it was a big deal. It is a big deal. Like, even I was like, wow, that's impressive. So my question to you is he the most successful kid of Rusty Wallace?
If Rusty doesn't know about it.
No, I love the TikToks and memes of him grabbing his child.
That
It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
that is a boy of caucus. Yes. That's the biggest video meme right now.
But kudos to Bubba.
He's put in his dues, honestly.
He has paid his dues.
As long
And,
as he doesn't have the crutch.
Yeah,
And he seems to be doing less of that.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you can't flip on ESPN because they're going to give the crud.
Oh, of
and
course.
it's awful.
Yeah. Cool.
But for the average fan, I think they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
dude can drive. Like, this is legit.
He's getting better.
So anyway, we're on to Iowa Speedway this Sunday.
Well, if they got corn in the infield.
I think it's one of those flat tracks.
I've already got my
I
picks.
have not made my picks, but I will right now. Go ahead with yours.
I've got Christopher Bell winning. He's my high point. The reason I am, because he's kind of fallen out. I mean, he's won his 3 races and then he's disappeared. So I'm kind of like, it's time for some people to start showing up again. I got Ross Chastain for the same reason.
Oh, nice.
And I took my long shot is Eric Jones.
Damn you.
I did it because I knew you'd want to do it. And then I might keep you from doing it. No, I'm kidding.
All right, so
No,
this
they-
race is called the Iowa Corn 350.
Legacy has been showing up a little bit more, haven't they? The
Yeah, they're
42,
starting to
42 and 43 starting to get up there.
So I think, and I'm literally making this up, but I know
Do.
that Jimmy Johnson has flirted with Dodge.
Oh, yeah. And they're supposed to be coming in a couple of years.
Right. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that they haven't given him the pieces to be successful, but it can't be a coincidence that he's flirting to go with a manufacturer and all of a sudden their cars seem to have some speed in them.
Yeah.
But it is good to see them heading in the right direction. So I'm going to take Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one too.
I still feel like there's something missing with him. Like
he won it last time.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. And then I'm gonna take. God, he's been on a roll. I'm gonna take Chase Briscoe. Yeah, he's been good lately.
Mm-hmm.
And then my long shot.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna go. Ooh. None of these guys are any good.
At Legacy, by the way, John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones are 20th and 22nd. That's not too bad for two teammates that kind of a newer team, right?
I'm gonna go Alex Bowman.
Yeah, I thought
Bowman,
about that too.
The showman.
Yeah. He's one that's a long shot that gets long shot odds that shouldn't get long shot odds. You shouldn't be able to drive for Rick Hendrick and get long shot odds.
Right.
But he does just because he's disappeared. I bet on him a couple times and he just doesn't show up. So, yep.
All right. So those are my picks. All right, moving on. NFL college football is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Will we have Aaron back this year?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yep, we got to work out when, and usually it's the first week of September, right before the big football games, or the last week of August.
Okay, so we can look forward to that.
Yep.
Coming up.
Yep.
So, let's see. Moving on to what's happening.
It's time for news.
This is always my favorite part of the show. It is. What's your favorite part, Emma?
Mount Rushmore, when they're good.
Oh, God. Hey, this was his idea.
Hey, I love
Sorry. I'm not participating.
it. Oh, good. I got plenty for you.
All right, so America has hit the $150 billion in trade revenue from the tariffs.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
Yep.
Again, positive news.
At the
And
same
yes.
time, we have the highest GDP growth at the same time.
So I'll let you know when to cut this video off, but this was the Megyn Kelly's reaction to getting the tariff money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And so she put a little collage together of what it was like when Trump literally first took office. This is what was going to happen due to the tariffs. Cut one.
This is what the media said was going to happen on the Trump tariffs.
You can't undo the damage. The Trump slump is upon us now.
We're in a car driven by somebody who was blackout drunk. And it's like one of those bad Bugs Bunny
ESPN
cartoons.
anchor.
It's Looney Tunes.
This is not Liberation Day in America. It's Recession Day.
The greatest man-made economic crisis in modern presidential history, and paralyze American businesses, large and small,
Why does anybody go to her?
forcing them to lay off people, to stop hiring or pause investment decisions.
It feels like there's an expression in tech called chaos monkey. Well, this particular chaos monkey is throwing feces all over the planet, essentially, and saying...
Means nothing. It literally means nothing.
All right, that's good. So, no, here's the point is, when I watch Sunday mornings when these liberal hosts are having Republicans on and they're grilling them about the economy, that's good, by the way, how come you don't have one of those people on and go, hey, but you said we were in a recession.
Yeah.
You literally said it was the Trump slump. What's going on?
Yeah.
Nobody. They never ask one question.
It is
to these people
horrendous that they get away with
it.
All
Is
that.
literally fiction versus fact. Like, and so here's the problem, Trent. And I saw this weekend. I don't know if you paid attention to this. What's going on in D.C. with restaurants?
No.
Have you seen this? Okay, so restaurants are closing at an alarming rate in D.C.
Because the federal employees are fired and gone.
No, way worse than that.
Illegals.
Literally. They were saying on average 3 restaurants a week now are closing in the District of Columbia. That's how bad it is. You know why? Because they voted to raise the minimum wage from tips to minimum wage. So, you used to get a different rate when you got tips. Well, they said, no, you've got to be paid what everybody else is getting paid plus tips. Well, I mean, this is what I this is
So the
what
restaurant owner can't afford to pay
Of course
the
they
higher
can't.
rate.
Of
Yeah.
course they can't.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what's crazy about all this. There's ramifications, right? All you have to do is go back. So one of the people on the news said, well, you know, the people voted on it. This was not a council vote, right? This was a memorandum. Is that what they call it? It went out on a ballot, and the people voted.
Oh,
this
okay.
in.
Referendum.
Well, that's because the news media only gave you one side of the story. You suckered into it. You voted for it. Now, guess what? They're all scrambling on a way to try to get rid of it.
Yeah.
In the middle of a season without, before an election, because it's done so much damage.
I'm telling you, DC's so messed up that discussion about Congress taking it back over should be discussed more.
I agree,
Yeah.
100%. All right, moving on. Did you hear the Colbert, Colbert?
Yeah.
That they had protest outside? It was one of those, remember, I think you and I laughed one time because the Lynchburg paper had said that there were numerous people protesting, right? And I think we counted 5 or something. We're like,
right.
you couldn't write 5?
Yeah.
Like, it was that easy to count. You could have wrote 5. And I think that's what happened here. Have you ever been to a late night show?
No.
Let me tell you why it's not a big deal. They literally line up to give tickets out daily because it's a daily show.
Inside, yeah.
Right. They're and there are people on the streets begging you to go. I went to Letterman. So it's not like it's a hard ticket to get. It's a free ticket.
So they just want the crowd inside.
Yeah, they
at
have
11
to,
o'clock
yes.
at night. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. All of these shows are done during the day.
Film them at 6.
Yeah. And so they're begging you to go to these late night shows. So you're saying people are so outraged they're going to protest. It's so stupid.
Right.
Nobody cares about Colbert.
Was it packed in the streets, stopping cars?
No. I don't think a handful of people
Like
showed
5 people.
Right.
Same BS. I got Disney, when they do those Disney shows and they show the live audience, they do the same thing. I remember being down there and they try to get you to come into the studio and it's air conditioned, so you just walk in and watch the show.
I did enjoy Letterman. It was in the Ed Sullivan Show, and we were on the front row. Madonna was on that day. It was a pretty cool show.
Very cool.
I enjoyed it. So talking points.
Yes.
Listen, I'm tired of people treating Bernie Sanders as if he's a good person.
Right.
Bernie Sanders is a useless idiot.
Just lied and lives in his mansions.
Dude, I'm so tired of and the people who literally go, he's bringing up good. No, he's bringing up the same stuff he's always, since he's been a senator. Nothing has changed. So his big thing now is oligarchy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, check this out. Cut 2.
Country of ours is moving very rapidly in the direction of oligarchy. The United States of America today is increasingly becoming an oligarchy. More and more moving toward an oligarchy. We are moving in the direction of oligarchy. We will move even more rapidly in the direction of an oligarchy. This great country is evolving into an oligarchic society. It is called oligarchy, and that is the system we are rapidly moving toward. This is a budget that moves our country rapidly into the direction of oligarchy. A handful of billionaires are moving this entire planet.
That's good.
Toward.
So for those who can't see this, it literally starts with what year?
1993 to, that was just 2018. But even on the shows, I think that's what it says. Even on the shows in 2025, he still uses that word.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody actually said that's the dumbest thing. Nobody even understands what you're saying.
Correct.
I mean, who gives a damn? Nobody knows what you're talking about.
I guess what's weird to me is he uses the same sentence.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they haven't heard you for 30 years. What makes you think it's going to click now?
Yeah, I don't know how that.
And this is their leader, if you want to call it.
I mean, he should have been the president.
I was going to say, if they hadn't cheated, Democrats cheated in election.
Right.
They will never admit that.
No.
But they did.
Yep.
All right. Win, win, win.
We're going to win, win, win. And we're going to make America great again. You ought to be speaking about Bill Clinton, who went to the island 28 times. I never went to the island.
Do you maintain you did not write a letter for Jeffrey Epstein's birthday?
I don't even know what they're talking about. Now, somebody could have written a letter and used my name, but that's happened a lot. All you have to do is take a look at the dossier, the fake dossier. Everything's fake with that administration. Everything's fake with the Democrats. Take a look at what they just found about the dossier. Everything is fake. They're a bunch of sick people.
He's exactly right.
Nails it.
Yeah.
He nails everything.
I know. You're just an idiot.
And back to tariffs. I was listening to Buck and Clay, and Buck Sexton was saying, hey, way back in February and March when he was saying this, I really didn't know if I believed him either. He said, but the one thing that we did say on this show, which we also said here, is Trump seems to be right more than anybody else. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and see if this works. And if it doesn't work, you just reinstitute something back. That's the beauty of it.
I saw the liberal host ask, what's the guy I like so much, Bissett?
The best guy.
Yeah.
Gosh, he is so good.
And so she was trying to get him in the whole Jerome Powell.
Yeah.
Right? Is he going to fire him? And he said he should step down.
Yeah.
Well, he shouldn't have to fire him. He should step down. But Trump appointed him. And I loved his answer. He's not always going to get it right.
Yeah.
So when he doesn't, the difference between him and everybody else is
you're fired.
You're done.
Yeah, exactly.
And listen, there's nobody in today's society that can look at Jerome Powell and tell me that dude is non-biased in making his decisions.
Did you see him walking around in the Fed building? He told him he was $3 billion down.
He
goes, well, I don't know if that's true. And he says, here, let me show you. And he pulls out the receipts.
And that's what I said. You're a Fed chair trying to tell a builder?
Yeah.
That's what he's done his whole life.
Yeah.
Of course he knows what the costs are.
Oh, that was so funny.
But here we are again. No interest rate change.
Yeah.
Again today. And 2 people voted apparently to have an interest rate change. And apparently this is the first time since 1993 that the Fed chair has not gone with recommendations. So,
I mean, I don't know all the details and the numbers quite like I should. However, when I hear that the economic indicators were worse in October last year,
of course,
but you reduced the rates then than what we have now, well, was it because there was an election coming up?
So I heard a really good business guy say, typically with an economy as good as theirs is right now, you wouldn't lower interest rates. But he said the reason you would in this aspect is the one thing that is lagging behind that desperately needs help is the housing market. And so you absolutely would lower them because the economy is doing so great.
Yeah.
And he goes, to simply deny that, you're doing it on purpose at this point.
Yeah. On the street, really what it is, the housing market, and because that's what I'm in the middle of for a living, is it's simple. People had 3% interest rates forever.
Yeah.
They're not getting rid of 3% to go get 7% or 8%. So it's got to come down to get people to get rid of those older homes. Yeah.
All right, moving on to Mount Rushmore. We don't have a bumper?
No.
The train.
Yeah.
We need like a we need like a George Washington quote or something.
What book are you reading?
Nothing. I was texting Jamie.
But what book are you reading?
I have no idea.
So
you don't know the name of the book?
No. It's on my Kindle, so I didn't look at it.
I'm trying to rush through this so I can have at it.
Save it for the show. All right, today's Mount Rushmore is wrestling greats.
Yes.
That have passed.
That part I didn't catch up with, but I get you.
Well, I haven't watched wrestling a lot in the last 15 years, so it'd be hard for me to.
Yeah, I try to watch like Raw now, and it's that Dustin Rhodes son and what's the brothers that fight? One's a boxer and the other one's the wrestler. They were YouTubers.
Oh Jesus, the Paul
brothers. Yeah, he's like one of them.
So
yeah,
I think what they've tried to do nowadays is show the behind the scenes to make it more interesting. Because I watched a little clip the other day of Dustin Rhodes and another wrestler, and something went wrong and like one of them almost broke his neck. But they're literally showing it real time behind the scenes.
Wow.
Behind the curtain. And while it's interesting, to me, your product is suffering if you have to show that in order to get people to watch.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have the characters we used to have.
I mean, what's kind of weird is I think Netflix now carries The Raw, and that's one of the top 10 shows when you watch Monday nights. So somebody's watching.
Yeah. All right. Mine are Andre the Giant.
No doubt.
Hulk Hogan.
I can't believe I don't have Andre. It's like I just forgot about him.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Who just passed away.
Yep.
So quickly on the Hulk Hogan deal, literally, my daughter was playing beach volleyball the other night, and so it was late when we left, and the Waffle House was about the only choice we had.
Mm-hmm.
So we went in the one at Lowe's.
Yes.
The cook, I almost laughed out loud. He literally turned around and goes, "Can't get over Hulk Hogan's dead." Like, he's talking to himself, and he punches the counter.
Oh. Man, what a following he had. Though.
Like, he's so upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, man, was Ultimate Warrior.
One of my favorites by far. Yep.
Yeah. And one I figured people would forget about, but dude, she was a massive deal. It's China.
Yeah, she should be on the women. So, Emma, I don't know if it was when you weren't here or before here, that she thinks we should do like the lady version of the Mount Rushmores.
Okay, next week we'll do the hottest women.
Yeah, Sable.
When did I say that?
Didn't you say that we don't ever have a woman that? And so I had to pick.
No, I didn't say you had to. I was just wondering why you didn't have one.
Well, so China made it. But do you remember Sable?
Yes.
Whew. Number one.
Yeah.
No doubt. She's on my Mount Rushmore.
I have her behind Gibbler.
I don't even know who that is. Isn't he the guy that does cookies?
No, she was the best. I think it was Lisa Gibbler or something.
I don't even know who it is.
And then my last one was the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
So jumping on mine, number one. And so I started with just, these are icons, and I know they're dying out, but they're still, to me, the top 5. And I don't even know who I would take off my list. If I just did a Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, Ric Flair is number 1. Hulk Hogan, number 2. Macho Man, number 3. And the other 2 I love that just made me watch wrestling again, Stone Cold and The Rock.
Oh, yes.
Those are the guys that watch. But if you had to have somebody dead in there, I'm putting Andre the Giant would be in there for sure.
Yes.
But here's a couple of names that you didn't have in your list that did you not think about them, or what is Rowdy Roddy Piper? Do you remember that guy?
Oh, God, yeah, the Piper's Pit.
Yeah, had the skirt, and he just, all of a sudden, he just get angry, go crazy.
From 0 to 1,000.
Yeah. Man, this guy was my hero. He was like my Evander Holyfield, the guy that was underneath you had all the stars, but Evander Holyfield, you didn't have Mike Tyson and the big. So Evander was that guy that just finally moved up and got his.
Yes, I loved Evander.
Mine in that category was Ricky Steamboat.
Oh, yeah.
He was that guy that just was always, and then all of a sudden he became really, really good at the end of his career. Yeah. And do you remember Jimmy Snuka?
Yeah, Jimmy Superfly.
Yes. He would go from one belt turnbuckle diagonally into the other turnbuckle. Correct. He would fly.
Yeah.
You know, I think he went to jail for,
it
was like some really bad women things.
So I liked Raw, but when I was a wrestling fan, it was WCW, and it was not before all the Nitro stuff.
Yeah.
It was way back with Greg the Hitman Valentine.
Oh.
Greg the Hammer.
Hammer.
Yeah, it was the Assassin 1, the Assassin 2,
yeah,
the Road Warriors, Ricky Steamboat, Wahoo McDaniel. I mean, to me, that was wrestling. The Four Horsemen.
There was a guy, the Junkyard Dog.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man, they were so good. WCW, or when I was younger, it was like Atlanta. It was the Atlanta station that did it.
Yeah.
And then the WEF. What are they now? What is it? Wow, I can't think of it.
It used to be WWF.
WWF, and then it became WWE, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the WWE, it took over, and by far that was a really good documentary on
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon, yep.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That is Stacy Keibler. You don't remember her?
No, but I need to look her up.
What was that?
She was the best.
Oh my god, people need to go back and watch this on YouTube.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Have At It.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
All right. So in honor, and I guess because we're doing the interview, I did have that right that Carolina Kevin's not coming in today.
I saw where you pushed him out so you could have more for Have At It, but I did tell him.
No, that's what we talked about in this
told
in the show meetings.
He hasn't responded, so he's mad at me now.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I didn't make it up.
No, you didn't.
It was Emma that made it happen.
Oh my goodness. Thanks, Trent.
She said we need more women on.
Here's what she said. Yes, I got the clip with the white hair guy. I was like, you really don't know who Hulk Hogan is?
I'm sorry.
Just so you know, Emma, I went back and looked at our most viewed interviews so far, and it was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She is.
Yeah. She's the most watched on the YouTube, the ones that we uploaded. So I don't know how TikTok. I need to look back at that one.
Yeah.
But no, it wouldn't be TikTok either, would it?
And don't forget, did I put this in my stuff today? I didn't, did I?
Yeah, that was Danny Young that we did. And her story was really good. I'm telling you, man, I'm so absorbed in these interviews. When we go to do them, their stories, I'm just like transfixed in the jungle with him, looking at the stuff that he's having to look at. What are you doing?
I was looking for my notes. I know I put it somewhere, and I must have deleted it somehow. But before you get into Have At It real quick, people need to know.
Don't have at it.
Go to YouTube. Go to @LLH podcast _podcast, right? And subscribe.
Got to subscribe.
Yes,
Which means several people have told me, oh, I don't know what my password is on Gmail. Just make an account.
Correct. Right.
They act like, well, I don't remember. I was like, just nothing rocket science to it. Just create an account and subscribe.
If you want to email the show, you can email Brian, BRYAN, @grovestreetfm.com.
That's a Media Squatch, isn't it?
No, mine's still Grove Street, and so is yours.
Nobody email me there. Because I
Have
ain't
you
checking.
checked it?
Just text me.
Anyway.
All right,
check us out.
dude, because of the subject of the Mount Rushmore and seeing this, last year, I am not kidding you, I loved, are you listening?
Yeah.
Because you're staring at something.
Last year.
I loved the RNC. Like, literally, every night I was transfixed because it was the best lineup of speakers that they had.
It was the best RNC we've ever had.
Okay. When he came up here, I thought, okay, this is going to be gimmicky.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just get through this one.
Yeah.
I had chills at the end of this thing, and I was like clapping it by myself in the basement watching this thing. This is Hulkster last year at the RNC, Cut 9.
I see all the real Americans. I think about how Donald Trump, his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero?
He's taking the jacket off.
And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
I got chills now.
Trump clapping.
He rips that shirt off and you expect it to be his chest, and it's a Trump shirt, not a Hulkster shirt.
USA. Wow.
Oh, man. He was so good at that.
But you remember that convention and then the Democrats?
Oh.
You went from that, which is so uplifting.
Yeah, every
to
night.
Just pure, like, depression.
Yeah. No American flags, no pride, no patriotism.
That.
Yeah. Perfect segue. Let's get into dumbasses. This, no doubt, after you hear this, like, you know, I talk to my mom all the time. She goes, Trent, those interviews that the president's son, Hunter, did, she said, I mean, that was atrocious. She said, I hope y'all play that on your podcast. I said, actually, I have another one tonight. Listen to what he talks about here and tell me this is not the dude that was running the country for the last few years. Cut 15.
Kamala Harris. I think that she would have made an incredible president. I know that she was an incredibly loyal vice president. And she did everything that she could to support my dad. Everything. And to support me and my family, personally. I mean, I truly love her like family. And I think that she would have made an incredible president. And I think she ran an incredible campaign. You know who did not want Kamala Harris to be president and did not want her to be the nominee? Nancy Pelosi didn't want her to be. None of Nancy Pelosi's people wanted her to be. They wanted an open convention. They wanted a floor fight. They wanted I don't know what the hell they wanted, but they wanted to be the ones to anoint whoever they were going to anoint to become the next president of the United States.
Who do you think that would have been?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have any idea. All I know is that they definitely did not want Kamala Harris. And again, which undermined her, which undermined the campaign. You know, I mean, I look at these people and talk about like, well, where were they? We had 100 days. She literally was handed a $100 million check. She ran her ass off. She had an incredible organization, incredible grassroots organization. David Plouffe took over the campaign. You know, what did they do? Where did they spend their money?
Those camo hats they thought were going to make the kids go crazy, but most of the kids are pretty Palestine pills.
Look, I'm telling you, one of the reason I think that whether, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist completely, but I don't know what happened in that election.
Dude, I mean, you can tell he just literally ran things. He knew enough that Pelosi didn't want to have Kamala. And yet Kamala's doing
Trent, is they skipped the part of, he said Nancy Pelosi wanted to have an open convention.
Yeah.
You mean she wanted there to be an election?
Somewhat of a vote. Now, would they have controlled the vote on the floor?
I'm sure, but it's still, I mean.
And he said they wanted to anoint someone. Didn't you anoint Kamala
by
what? Picking the person that didn't run us in the primary at all?
Right. And what scares me about that is, listen, I don't know that they anointed. I think, because Joe, if you remember, did not endorse her when it was first announced.
Right.
So there was definitely something going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and they were really hoping he'd come out, and then he kind of undermined Obama that was getting ready to do the whole floor thing.
Yeah.
They were hoping that Obama would come in and tell all the people in the crowd who should be the one they choose.
Dude, this guy you're getting ready to play, I can't.
Okay, so the Dems have found their leader. Possibly. Every week there's a new guy. Last week it was Gavin. This is this week because this is the guy that's getting the play. And they think with his roar that men are going to start following this guy. Cut 21.
Don't question my integrity. Don't question my motives. I'm standing for Jersey. I am standing for my police officers. I'm standing for the Constitution, and I'm standing for what's right. And dear God, if you want to come at me that way, you're going to have to take it up with me, because there's too much on the line right now in America. As people's due process rights and freedom of the speech rights and secret police are running around this country, picking people up off the streets who have a legal right to be here. There's too much going on in this country. When are we going to stand together for principles that I just heard that were agreed with? When are we going to stand together?
Okay. Does anyone in the Democrats vote differently?
No, but do you want to know who that was directed to?
Yeah, it was the other Dem lady that said that they were being weak. Yeah.
Yeah.
That they were giving in on things that Trump likes. Because someone has to be smart enough in their party to say, we keep putting ourselves on the 20% side.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, the easiest thing to make a comeback would be this following statement. I say this all the time. He's taking our ideas.
Yeah.
We believed in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
He has taken our ideas, and we agree with him, and that we're going to go in this direction. But we're not doing this mean stuff. We're going to do it a nicer way. But they don't do that because they cannot agree with him. They will not let themselves agree with him.
And what's sad is, Emma, you probably aren't old enough to remember this, but Trent and I certainly are. Listen, Bill Clinton pivoted.
That's right.
Absolutely, 100% pivoted.
The 94 election, after he was elected in 92, he was underneath the polls, and Newt Gingrich essentially saved him.
Yes.
Because they gave him a balanced budget.
Yep.
And he started cracking down on crime.
Mm-hmm.
No one in the Dems is smart enough to figure that out, because the people they have leading are these ladies, sorry, Emma, that are AOC, that they're dumb. They just don't know how to win anymore.
Correct.
Which I think is great. Let us keep winning.
Do you think they have screwed themselves with candidates like Mandani and AOC, where they've built a fringe that's so powerful they can't unhinge from it?
So it is awesome. If you go back, and the interview that I recommended was Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk says the Cuban dictator Castro, the guy Chavez in Venezuela, they don't come because of things are in order, because times are good
Chaos.
and things are structured. They come when there's chaos.
Yeah.
So when you look at someone like Mamdani, you've got to be a little worried, because the next thing that we should be worried about, and what he's trying to tell people, is the young people are so poor. They're working. Okay, I don't mean poor, and I don't mean this in a bad way. Emma, how many jobs are you working?
4.
Okay. How?
Don't roll
Why are you rolling your eyes?
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, that's discounting. You are doing what Congress is doing to Charlie. Charlie is saying how many people like Emma are having to work that much, that housing is 7 times more than what your income is. And our parents, it was 3 times. It has progressively gotten worse over the last 40 years. Today, the average age of a first-time home buyer is 38 years old. 20 years ago, it was 31 years old. 20 years before that, when our parents were buying their first house, it was 20 years old. He is saying the biggest fear that we have to understand is the youth are at some point going to say, that guy is keeping me from making money. And that is when you get your revolution. So that's what you got to be worried about. When the Mamdanis start getting elected, that you lose capitalism. And it was so good. He did it so much smarter than I just said.
No, I'm not rolling my eyes at her working 4 jobs. Do you do it because you have to pay your bills? No. And that's why
half of it, yes.
I mean, I did the same thing. I worked 4 jobs, but I didn't have to.
I worked
quit 2 of them.
Yes.
And just nothing changed. So
Emma, I think it's pretty admirable.
It is.
That you would work that much, no matter why.
Yeah.
But the point being is people are, and he gives this example, it's called buy now, pay later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a process of, and he said you can buy pizza and pay it in 4 installments. And that's happening right now. And he gave so many examples in cities this is going on. So that's the fear. We're not understanding that the youth are struggling.
All right, so I'm not discounting it. I'm asking, when you have people that worked for Twitter, and we're not talking about 100, we're talking thousands, right? And they were making $100,000 a year, most of them. I don't know. It's hard for. I think we replaced the factory jobs with these other fairy tale jobs that there aren't enough of them.
No,
and it created the poor that we have.
Part of what his strategy is stop with the social education, and you're hearing a bunch of that now. Is trade schools schools and funding for that type of thing, and that we have to kick out 10 million illegals and build 10 million homes.
Sure.
So it was a really good strategy, and he's so smart. And I'm like, man, this has to catch on, I swear. And that's what Tucker was saying. Are people listening to you? And he said, Trump does.
Right.
So it's like he gets it, but Congress is not. They say, and this is it's exactly what he says, they roll their eyes and they say, I pulled my bootstraps up.
Right.
These kids have to pull their bootstraps up. And he's like, you're not getting, there is an underswell of poor of the youth. And that's because he goes on all these campuses and people are getting these
paper degrees. Yeah.
Degrees.
We agree. 100%.
Hoping they can get
yes.
a huge salary. Yeah. And it's not out there.
No, I got one living it. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, we got to fix it.
So anyway, back to the ladies. So do you remember the whole campaign that they ran against Trump about the women?
Oh, yes.
You know, that he's misogynistic. Listen to this little press clip. I'll get you to cut it off about halfway through. But what I love, these are two people at a press conference talking about our country. So here's, go ahead and cut 47.
Caitlin. Thank you, Caroline. Two questions for Director Gabbard. Just on this, Director Gabbard, you referenced the past intelligence reports and assessments on this, including that 2017 one that was signed off, as Ed noted, by every Republican on the Senate Intelligence Community, including the acting chair of the time, now Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said in a statement that they did not find any evidence of Russian collusion, but they did find, however, is very troubling, and they found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling. One, are you saying that he's wrong in that statement that he made then? And secondly, what would you say to people who believe that you're only releasing these documents now to improve your standing with the president after he said that your intelligence assessments were wrong?
Well, first, I want to correct something that you stated, which was citing the Senate Intelligence Committee's report as being one and the same. I think you said the intelligence community. The Senate Intelligence Committee has a very different function than the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The evidence and the intelligence that has been declassified and released is irrefutable. I'm going to let Caroline speak to Secretary Rubio.
I'll speak to both questions. First, on Secretary Rubio, he put out a statement in 2020 following that Senate Intelligence Committee report, and he said what they found is troubling. We found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling, which the Director of National Intelligence just confirmed for all of you, that Russia was trying to sow distrust and chaos. But what's the outrage in this that Secretary Rubio did not say at the time, the Democrats were saying at the time, is the fact that the intelligence community was concocting this narrative that the president colluded with the Russians, that the president's son was holding secret meetings with the Russians.
You can finish it there. That's what I just love is that's two ladies that listen to this. That's the woman that asked the question was that mean. What do you call her? You're just a mean one, aren't you? The white pants interviewer lady from CNN. So she's trying to do a gotcha question. Her gotcha question is, Tulsi, aren't you just doing this stuff because you want to get back in the graces of the president? Since he said that your intelligence wasn't right, your intelligence report about Iran.
I'm still baffled that I don't know in my lifetime, and maybe I just don't remember it, but I don't know that I've ever seen a president that puts cabinet level members, because both of them were confirmed, right? Mm-hmm. That were former candidates for Democrat nominees.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about, like we joked about Rand Paul being on the other stage, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about front runners like
RFK.
That's what I mean.
Tulsi
Two
Gabbard.
of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're in his cabinet at a high level.
Yeah.
And everybody seems to go, oh, well.
She's a traitor.
Like, in all honesty, could you imagine Governor DeSantis being on Biden's cabinet?
Never.
Right. Mm-mm. And they discount it like, well, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I just think it's great that he's got powerful women up there that answer questions, that shoot the other lady down that's trying to spread divisiveness, which I heard something really good about that. And I was so glad to hear this just recently. So when we shot down Iran, or when we dropped the bombs, the bunker busters in Iran, the controversy was that Tulsi had been in there in March saying that they had not enriched any uranium.
Sure.
Okay. How cool was it that, is it Mossad? What's the name of the CIA that's part of Israel? Isn't it Mossad? Am I wrong on that? Whatever the CIA is of Israel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The IDF.
Remember when they first started, they had free reign of the air.
Right.
Because they pulled in 20 generals in one room and blew them all away.
Yeah.
They all came from across the country to one room and blew them all away. Remember all the pagers that went off in people's pockets and went all the way? Okay, that's the Israeli intelligence.
Yeah.
So what Trump is saying is he trusted Israelis' intelligence about enriching uranium that our intelligence doesn't know the region enough about.
Correct, because we're still corrupt. Our intelligence.
Oh, yeah. You got the Peter Schrocks of the world still working it.
That's right.
Yeah. So I know we have bad foreign agents internally, but that explains a lot of why she could have said what the DNI, what the intelligence groups said, and still be wrong.
Yeah.
Trump again made a good decision.
And what I think about Tulsi more than anything is that I think people forget that it was Hillary Clinton that turned on her and called her a what?
A Russian agent.
A Russian agent.
Yeah.
And don't forget, what made her popular in the Democrat Party was she found corruption in the DNC and outed it, Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Yeah.
And she got disbarred for it.
That's right. They kicked her off the stage.
Correct.
So she has a little axe to grind too, and I'm glad she's grinding it. Which we all need to start grinding that. They can't do what they did to Trump and raid Mar-a-Lago and do all those things, and then we have real things that they've done wrong and just let it go. Can't do that anymore.
That's what made her interesting to me, was her behind the scenes when she said, look, when I got there, I was put into a separate room and I was told I wasn't allowed to speak to a Republican without getting permission from Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
And she said, this isn't right.
Yeah.
And that's when they started to throw her out of the party.
Well, I'm hoping the 20%ers remain 20%ers until they start recognizing to do what's right for the country. So, and then to end the show, did you have anything else? You want to jump into that?
No, I'll let you get to that. I saw one today that I wanted your opinion on. Did you see where Trump had appointed one of his former attorneys to a federal judge?
Oh, yeah.
And the Dems are just livid.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, every judge that was appointed by Biden or Obama was a favor. Why is this all of a sudden wrong? I don't understand the whole logic behind it.
I'm more pissed that we don't have more judges confirmed.
Exactly.
Why aren't they confirming them, by the way? What makes it so hard to confirm them?
I don't get it either.
Is it filibustering?
No, I don't know.
I mean,
I heard Thune say something about we're done with your games or something.
It was something to the effect, whatever a recess appointment is, like if they are in recess.
Yeah.
And then, so the controversy is that the House or the Senate is going to have somebody hit the gavel so they're not in recess, but nobody's there. I mean, what games are we playing?
I don't know.
I hope that's not what it is. I don't know enough about it. So this, to end the show, dude, and I know.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I know you're not wanting to see it, and I don't either. But I came across it, and it was so beautiful, man. I was like, I have to do this. And I knew Emma would like this too. How brave this little 12-year-old girl was. She was part of the Camp Mystic group that survived.
Yeah.
She wrote her own song to Hallelujah.
Yeah.
And she's 12 years old, and she's on Fox News.
Did you hear when Ainsley asked her what she wanted to do for a living?
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about her. I just heard her singing it. It gave me chills.
Ainsley asked her after she sang, what do you want to do for a living? And she said, I just want to be a Christian singer when I grow up. And I'm just like, dude, we have a group that wants to do that now.
Yeah.
Like, that's how awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a girl that survived that horrible thing down in Texas with the flooding.
We'll see you next week.
Yep.
I heard there was a giant flood, but we were washed in Jesus' blood. And you don't really care for my news, do ya? On July the 4th, 2025, the water rose and we went adrift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Our faith was strong, you showed us love like only God from up above. Your prayers, your hugs, and your love overwhelmed us. We cried, we prayed, we did our share. You clothed us, fed us, brushed our hair, and from our lips we drew the hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. They say the water overcame, but I will never forget their names. No blame, no fault, so really what's it to ya? We are a part of mystic herd. We spread his light, his love, his word. The holy and the broken. Hallelujah. 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 We did our best, we left a mark, a light that shines within the dark. I told his truth, I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it wasn't long, we stand before the Lord of songs with nothing on our tongue but hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.